thank goodness. Officer, please, come quickly.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. How can I...
It has become a madhouse. Madame has been shouting and cursing all morning. I've never seen her so angry. But what great luck to happen upon you.
Please, try to remain calm. First, may I ask your name?
We don't have time for that. Please, hurry.
Mademoiselle, now we are here, I must insist on your name before I can continue any further. I am Officer Hercule Poirot.
I am Elizabeth, but it is the maidservant that we must consider. Forgive me, officer, but are you new to the area?
I stand out so obviously.
I mean no offence, only I have not seen you before. This is a small town, and you learn everyone's faces very quickly.
Very observant of you, mademoiselle. I was recently posted here from the city, and a good thing I am here now. Let us get to the bottom of this madness you speak of.
There has been a theft at the house.
Then I am...
It is only one of Mademoiselle Angeline's most valuable bracelets, taken from her room.
Then its safe return is of the utmost importance.
Madame Van den Bosch, the lady of the house, believes Fleurette is behind it. Mademoiselle Angeline thinks that someone has broken in and taken it. This seems more plausible to me.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Of course, officer. How can I help? There is, sir. Luke. But he was called away from the house on a personal matter. Rahana, our cook, accompanied him. One set must be mine, leaving to find you. The other set must be Florette's. She was caught in the rain this morning.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable. Aha. Mm-hmm. Aha. Ah. Huh. Hmm. Huh. I must take a different approach if I am to Come, my little grey cells. We must think logically. Things are beginning to become clearer. Is there something I am not seeing?
Of course, officer. How can I help? Excuse me, officer?
The carving on the bench. Forgive me, I was not suggesting anything untoward.
Oh, of course not. Yes. I suppose there must be.
Would you know the identity of the mysterious L and E?
I'm afraid not. Perhaps they were old residents. A pair of star-crossed lovers, perhaps. Madame does not allow distracting staff relationships.
Love is not something that can be harnessed so easily.
That is Madame's rule, and I wouldn't want to be the one that challenges her on it.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable. I must act on thought and... This will not get me any closer to my goal. I cannot see the logic in this. Perhaps a second... Order and method. That is the...
Of course, officer. How...
Merci. I must take a different approach. This will not get me any closer. I must act on thought. Is there something? I cannot see the logic in this. Order and method. Come, my little grey cells. Is there something? I must take a different approach if I am to I must act on thought and... I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. I cannot see the logic in this. Come, my little grey cells. Order and method. That is the way to... This will not get me any I must take a different approach. Come, my little grey cells. I must act on thought and... This will not get me any closer. Is there something? I cannot see the logic in this. Order and method. That... This will not get me any closer. What a revelation! Is there something? I must take a different approach.
Of course, officer. How can I help?
Merci, mademoiselle. Come, my little grey cell. I cannot see the logic in this. I must act on order and method. I must take a different approach. This will not get me any... I cannot see the logic in... Come, my little grey cell. I must act on thought. Is there something I... Order and method. I cannot see the logic in... I must take a different... Come, my little... I must act on... Order and method. Is there something... This will not get me any... Come, my little... I must take a different... I cannot see the logic. Is there something... Order and method. This will not get me any... I must act on... Come, my little... I cannot see the logic. Is there something... I must take a different... I must act on... Order and method. This will not get me... I must take a different approach. Order and method. I must act on... I cannot see the logic. Is there some... This will not get me... Come, my little... I cannot see the logic. I must act... Order and method. Is there something... Come, my little great... This will not get me... I must take a different... I cannot see the logic. I must take a different... Is there something... Order and method. I must act on... This will not get me... Come, my little... Is there something? Order and method. I must act on. I cannot see the logic. Come, my little great. I must take a different. This will not get me. This will not get me. Come, my little Order and method. I must take a different. Is there something? I cannot see the logic. I must act. I cannot see the logic. This will not get me. I must take a different. Order and method. I must act. Is there something? Come, my little Order and method. Come, my little. Is there something? I must take a different. This will not get me. I cannot see the logic. I must act. Order and method. I cannot see the logic. This will not get me. Is there something? I must act. Come, my little. I must take a different. Is there something? I must act. Come, my little This will not get me. I cannot see the logic. Order and method. I must take a different approach. Order and method. That is the. Come, my little I must take a different approach. I cannot see the logic. I must act on. Some would say a lucky guess. Is there something? This will not get me in. Order and method. Come, my little... I cannot see the lot. Is there something? I must take a different... I must act... This will not get me... This will not get me... I must take a different... Order and method. Is there something? I cannot see the logic. Come, my little I must act up. Order and method. Come, my little I must act. I cannot see the logic. Is there something? I must take a different This will not get me. This will not get me. Magnifique. I have conducted my initial inspection of the house and grounds. It is now necessary for me to speak with those in the house.
Of course. Thank you, officer. I'm sure Madame Van den Bosch...
Mademoiselle Elizabeth, I hope you are feeling less distressed now. I can assure you I shall find the guilty party and the bracelet.
Thank you, officer. Yes. All I want is for Florette to be heard.
Bien sûr. Rest assured she will get the fair trial she deserves. I wonder...
Of course. Whatever I can do to help.
Merci, mademoiselle. You're...
Elizabeth to bring me a competent lawman.
And that is what she has brought, madame. Now, I would like to continue my investigation.
You understand correctly. It is my daughter's bracelet. It is a rather expensive piece.
And valuable to your daughter, no doubt. It was a gift.
Yes, it was from her late father, my husband, the Viscount, and it has not gone missing. It was stolen. Don't be ridiculous. I have told you who is guilty. If there had been a break-in, surely it would be your job to stop them.
If it was the case, of course, madame. Although I cannot predict a burglar's movement.
Perhaps then you have proved me right, and you aren't the competent officer I require. I do not believe so. I know so. It was Florette, the maidservant. I knew I could not trust her.
And why is that?
Because I don't. I do not need to explain myself any further, especially to a measly officer.
Merci, madame. You have been most helpful. Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Ah.
What do you think you're doing in here? Who let...
Mademoiselle Angeline, I presume. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Officer Hercule Poirot.
An officer of the law? But what are you doing here? Don't you need to be chasing down the burglar?
Your bracelet has gone missing. It is only correct. I speak with all members of the house and investigate the scene of the crime.
Ah, if we must.
Merci. I will attempt to take up as little of your time as possible.
Some rat stole my bracelet this morning. Even though it's clear someone has broken in, Maman refused to listen and blamed Florette.
You sound very convinced it was taken by someone from outside of the house.
My window was open when I returned. How else can you explain that? It is of great value. Money was no object to Father.
It was a gift from your father. I can only assume it holds great value to you also.
Of course it does. What a silly thing to say. It's a good thing Maman had it insured with the others. It must have been while I was down at breakfast with Elizabeth. She was with me all morning.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth was with you until you discovered the bracelet was missing?
She was. She woke me up later than usual. I washed and dressed, and we went down to the lounge for breakfast.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet. Ah. Oh. Aha. Huh. Huh.
The longer you're here, the further the criminal goes with my bracelet. But by all means, fire away. Is one bracelet not enough? I have checked everywhere. You can ask Elizabeth if you don't believe me. It is only my bracelet that is missing.
As I have stated, it is my duty to speak with every member of the house, and I would not want to have discovered a further missing piece later. You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet.
The longer you're...
You have been of... Aha.
Certainly, officer. When I left, Madame was with Florette in there. Surely she would not have locked her in. It must have been...
Madame Van den Bosch should not be deciding her fate. Would you grant me access to speak?
I would, sir, but I don't have the key. There is a spare somewhere, though. Oh, how awful, the thought of her locked in there.
Do you have any thoughts as to where I may find it?
I'm sorry. Madame does not trust the staff with such knowledge, even me. Although I did overhear her once say it was hidden somewhere, close to her heart. Whatever that means. Now I think of it, I don't recall seeing her memento tin. She holds her keepsakes from her father and other gifts or tokens in it. She has such a wonderful collection. She's very lucky. She normally keeps it close, but I didn't see it this morning.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been invaluable.
Really, officer, you are wasting both your time and mine. And what is your point?
May I ask of the subject?
You may not. Honestly, your prying is getting on my last nerve. Only if you are prepared to take Florette away.
It is an offense to incarcerate someone without suitable proof of misdeeds. I must question Mademoiselle Florette to gather her version of events.
If you will not do your duty and lock her up, then I must. She shall remain there, and I, the key holder, until she is led from the room in handcuffs.
Merci, madame. You have been... I must act on... Is there something... I cannot see the logic in this. Order and method. Come, my little Grace. Another success. I never doubted myself. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. What a revelation! I must take a different approach if... Come, my little grey cells. This will not get me any closer. Order and method. I must take a different... I cannot see the logic in this. Is there something... I must act on... I cannot see the logic in this. Order and method. This will not get me any... Come, my little... I must take a different... Is there something... I must act on... I cannot see the logic... Order and method. This will not get me... Is there something... Come, my little grey... I must act on... I must take a different... Is there something... This will not get me... I cannot see the lot. I must take a different... Order and method. Come, my little... I must act on... Order and method. I cannot see the lot. Is there something... Come, my little... This will not get me... I must take a different... I must act... I must take a different... Come, my little... I cannot see the logic. This will not get me. Is there something? I must act on order and method. This will not get me. I cannot see the logic. Order and method. I must take a different. I must act on. Is there something? Come, my little grape. I cannot see the lot. Order and method. This will not get me. Is there something? I must take a different. I must act on. Come, my little. This will not get me. I must act. Come, my little great. Is there something? I cannot see the logic. Order and method. I must take a different. Come, my little. I must take a different. I must act on. Order and method. I cannot see the lot. This will not get me. Is there something? Order and method. I must take a different. Come, my little. This will not get me. Is there something? I must act on. I cannot see the logic in it. I must act. Magnifique. Come, my little. I cannot see the logic. Is there something? Order and method. I must take a different. This will not get me. I must act. Is there something? Order and method. I must take a different. This will not get me. I cannot see the logic. Come, my little grape. I must take a different. This will not get me. I cannot see the logic in. Is there something? Come, my little. Order and method. I must act. This will not get me. I must take a different. I must act. Is there something I... Come, my little... Order and method. I cannot see the lot. I must act on... Order and method. I must take a different... Is there something... This will not get me any... I cannot see the logic. Come, my little... I must act on thought. Is there something? Come, my little... I cannot see the lot. I must take a different... This will not get me... Order and method. I cannot see the logic. This will not get me... Is there something... Come, my little... Order and method. I must take a different approach. I must act on... Come, my little grey cells. We must... Order and method. I cannot see the logic in... I must act on... Is there something... This will not get me... Another success. I never...
Certainly, officer. Madame is the one with the refined taste. Angeline and I are much more partial to a simple love story.
Aren't we all? Romeo and Juliet, the most famous of love stories.
I do enjoy it so. The passion, the romance. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Madame has a copy upstairs in the main hall.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your... Oh. Finally, it is unlocked.
What exactly do you think you are doing?
If I am to serve justice, I must be able to reach and talk with young Florette.
The girl is guilty and shall pay the price for her crime. I shall see to that. If you wish to listen to her feeble attempts to explain herself, so be it.
Everyone deserves to tell their side of the story, whether a feeble account or not. Mademoiselle Florette, I presume.
Please, officer. I did nothing wrong. You can't take me away.
Please relax, my dear. If you have done nothing wrong, you have nothing to worry about. But it is my duty to investigate all avenues. Ah bon?
Relax. So you don't think I took the bracelet?
As of this moment, I cannot say. But answering my questions honestly will certainly help your case either way.
I didn't even know it was missing till I got accused of taking it. Madame was so angry. She wouldn't listen to me.
There must be some reasoning behind her accusation.
How could I have taken it? I've been in town most of the morning. I was even late coming back. Then I was preparing breakfast. Rihanna the cook is away, so I had to fetch breakfast for the house and prepare it all myself. How does she expect me to do that all on my own?
From what I understand of Madame Van den Bosch, she would not have been best pleased you returned late for breakfast.
Not best pleased? I thought she was going to batter me to death with a baguette. I hid in the kitchen and then tried to stay out of sight in the lounge until breakfast was over. Didn't want to put my head near her jaws while she was still hungry.
Perhaps a brave move under the circumstances. And you did not go upstairs at all?
Madame was singeing a hole in the back of my apron with her glare. I daren't have moved. I was too scared to blink the wrong way. Never mind stamping upstairs. I must just be slow, monsieur. My mother always said I moved like the snail. Maybe I was just happy to be out of the house. Now I am being accused of avoiding my duties? Mais enfin!
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration. Ah. Aha. Ah. Huh. Oh. Ah. Things are beginning to become clearer. I must take a I cannot see the logic. Come, my little grey cells. We must think logically. I must take a different order and method. This will not get me in. Is there something I must act. Come, my little I cannot see the logic. Order and method. I must take a different. Is there something I must act on? This will not get me in. Come, my little grey cell. I must take a different. I cannot see the logic. This will not get me in. I must act on. Order and method. Is there something The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together. Order and method. I must take a different. This will not get me in. I cannot see the logic. Come, my little. Is there something I must act on? Is there something I must take a different... I must act on thought and fact. Come, my little great... Some would say a lucky guess. What a revelation! Order and method. This will not get me. Magnifique. Another success. The pieces of the puzzle are finally
Anything. Yes, another thing on my to-do list. I'm afraid it's not in the same condition as when I picked it up.
At whose request?
It was a favor for Lizzie. I didn't mind having to get it.
Merci. I shall take everything you have told me into consideration.
Certainly, officer. Madame is under a great deal of strain. It can't have been easy for her to lose her husband, raising Mademoiselle alone. She can be quick to anger.
And this morning, it sounds as though it was such an occasion.
It's not the first time I have had to stand and watch such treatment. I hate to see it. As I said, Madame hasn't had the easiest time. Madame's scolding of Fleurette this morning was the worst I have seen her temper. I wish she could see that Fleurette is just trying to do her best.
Could there have been another reason for such a reaction?
Madame was not happy Fleurette was late. All through breakfast, Madame was watching her with a piercing eye. But she's still learning the way. Why, yes, officer! I misplaced it after wiping a stain from Mademoiselle Angelieve's sleeve at breakfast. You are a great detective.
You are not the first to say. Had she not noticed it herself, I imagine Madame would not allow even the smallest imperfection.
It baffles me how she couldn't have. It was only luck that I spotted it before Madame, and a good thing I did. The lounge? A package?
Oui, it is quite hard to miss.
Oh, how silly of me. I must have had my head in the clouds this morning. I'm sorry, I can't help you further. Besides the terrible rain? No. I woke, began my duties with Mademoiselle. I had already laid out a clean dress. I helped her into it and prepared her for the day before getting started on tidying her room as neat as a pin.
And the bracelet was still there when you left the room for breakfast?
I'm sure of it. I headed down before Mademoiselle Angeline.
Merci, mademoiselle. Your assistance has been in... Some would say a lucky guess. Things are beginning to become clearer. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Certainly, officer. How could I not be? I may not enjoy his other works, but how can one not be blown away by a story of two so deeply in love that they will risk everything just to be together?
Especially being able to draw similarities between Verona's star-crossed lovers to yourself and...
But I hadn't told.
Mademoiselle, I am an officer of the law. It is my duty to uncover the truth.
Please, you cannot say anything to Madame. She is against staff relationships of any kind. In her eyes, a relationship between staff is nothing more than a distraction.
But he means so much more to you.
Oh, officer, I have found my soulmate. At first, it was nothing more than pleasantries around the grounds. But that quickly changed. I know it's not proper for a young lady to pursue a gentleman. But once I knew his feelings reciprocated my own, why shouldn't I have followed my heart?
Love transcends professional and societal rules.
The mere thought of him was enough to make me blush. But I knew that Madame would never give her blessing. If we wanted to continue, we would have to do so in secret. The summer evenings here are just so beautiful. I often find myself walking around the grounds after my daily duties are complete. And it was one such evening that Luke was waiting for me at the gazebo. He looked ever so handsome. And the poem he had prepared... He had barely started reading and I was already a blubbering mess. Standing there beneath the warm glow of the falling sun, he asked for my hand, and I gave him my heart with no hesitation. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I've been chattering on for so long. You have much more pressing matters than to listen to me rambling aimlessly.
One should never apologize for such a charming and bewitching story of love. But you are correct. While the culprit still eludes us, my work is not yet complete. Merci, mademoiselle. Your... Things are beginning to become clearer. I cannot see the lot. must act on... I must take a different... Come, my little Grace. Order and method. Another success. Is there something? Some would say a lucky guess.
What are you doing there? I wouldn't get too close. Soot is forever spitting onto the floor.
Merci for the warning, mademoiselle.
The longer you are here, the further the criminal goes with my bracelet. How should I know? I returned to the room and father was face down on the floor. It must have been the burglar.
So it is your father that is the subject.
Isn't he handsome? I remember watching him sit for it. He kept looking across and smiling at me. The artist was getting awfully angry at him. Maman never wants to talk about him. She says it's too hard, but she acts more like she doesn't even care.
I'm sure that is not the case. It must have been very hard for her, for you both.
I miss him every day. He always knew how to put a smile on my face. I remember how much fun we would have, all three of us. In the summer, father and I would play hide and seek while Maman read. She always helped me though whenever it was his turn to hide. I would stand in the gazebo, cover my eyes and count, and when I turned, he was nowhere to be seen. Maman would lower her book and flash a look towards his hiding spot. After I found him, he clapped and cheered as though I had won a gold medal. When I was hiding, it didn't matter where I was. He could never find me. I always thought I was an expert hider, but when I think back now, I know he was letting me win. He always said my smile was prize enough for him. He always knew just what to say.
I'm sure he would want you to be smiling today, even under such circumstances.
Maman is never happy with anything these days. Also, Florette does have a habit of not doing things exactly how Maman wants them done.
And how does she react when she sees Florette not doing things the correct way?
Maman has the temperament of a kicked cat. Florette has often been on the wrong side of it.
That is how she responded today?
She was shouting at her, and when Florette would not admit she took the bracelet, Maman really lost her temper. I have not seen her that angry before.
You have been of great help to my investigation, mademoiselle. I will do everything I can to find the culprit and return your bracelet. This will not get me any... I cannot see the logic. What a revelation! Order and method. Come, my little Grace. Is there something magnifique?
What are you doing there?
Merci for the warning. Oh. Aha. Huh. Aha. Oh. Huh. Ah.
The longer you're...
You... Ah.
What are you doing there?
Merci for the warning. Oh.
Really, officer, you are... If you have something to ask, officer, I suggest you stop wasting my time. And this is how how she repays me? I will not be happy until I see her sufficiently punished. I am not sure what you are trying to imply, officer, but I will remind you of my position in this house and my standing with your superior. It is challenging at times, I will admit. But I can assure you the Van den Bosch name is as strong and prevalent as it has always been. Officer, you have wasted enough of my...
My intention was not to anger you, madame. I was merely Merci, madame. You have...
Anything to show you I didn't do it. And madame, I need this job, monsieur. She never used to be such a witch. When the Viscount was alive, she was much nicer. He was the head of the house, he gave the orders, and he treated us right. I would have gone long ago, monsieur, but my family can't afford for me to be picky about my employment.
I was not aware you were supporting your family, and at such a young age.
Papa lost his job at the factory just before he left for good, so Maman had to work even more. I was old enough, so I went to work. When I joined the Van den Bosch house, the Viscount was very kind. I didn't think he would care, but he wanted to help. He gave me some extra in my first pay pack, enough to keep the landlord from kicking Maman out at least. No one had ever been that nice before. I didn't know what to say, but all he wanted me to do was work hard for her. He even let me to go home and visit Maman and my brothers at Christmas, with a food parcel from the kitchen. Maman said she had never seen so much food. It's always been hard for her. Even before he left for good, Papa wasn't around much, and even when he was, we both wished he wasn't. My brothers were too young to remember what he was like, I hope. When I walked in Maman's house, everything seemed so much smaller. I must have got too used to the size of this house. I swear, you could fit our house in just this lounge. We didn't have much, but we didn't want for much. It was simple and it was home.
The valuables in the house do not determine the love it shares.
Someone should tell Madame that. Not that she'd listen anyways.
I will uncover the truth of what happened today, mademoiselle. That, I promise you. Merci. I shall take... Huh.
Really, of it. If you have and this... I doubted your abilities, but... It is challenging at times, I will admit. I have tried my best to provide for Angeline, although sometimes she may not see it that way. She is not to know about what we have discussed. It is my burden to carry.
You are accepting the hand you have been dealt and raising a fine young mademoiselle. That is all that can be asked of you.
And you have done nothing but bother my staff and my family. I cannot stand here any longer and listen to this second-rate officer speaking such drivel.
I cannot see the I must take a different This will not get me in. I must act I must act on. Is there some... The pieces of the puzzle are fine.
Certainly, officer. You have found the culprit and the bracelet.
Everything will be revealed in good time. Would you be so...
Of course.
Merci, Mademoiselle Elizabeth, for gathering everyone. Will Madame Van den Bosch be joining us?
She stormed past me not long ago, and I have not seen her return.
Very well. Under usual circumstances, I would wait. But I think we have spent enough time on this matter, n'est-ce pas? This morning started like any other. My usual ordinary patrol. Until I was approached by Mademoiselle Elizabeth about a suspected burglary.
A crime I've been falsely blamed for.
That I shall come to. I began my investigation outside, but it was not long before I realized there were no signs of an intruder. So I turned my focus to those in the house. You. Florette, your time here at the house has not always been the easiest for you.
I do what Madame tells me.
And to the highest standard, I presume.
Madame's standards are very high. I do my best.
And you would at least expect fair treatment for the work, not to be spoken to in such a cruel and vicious way.
Monsieur?
I refer to how poorly Madame Van den Bosch treats you. You are at her beck and call, and she does nothing but belittle you.
That is Maman you're talking about. Just wait and...
It is nothing but the truth I speak, Mademoiselle. All the while, Mademoiselle stands by and does not even notice such cruelty. That must have angered you. Perhaps you thought it was time they deserved some retribution.
Stop trying to put words in her mouth.
I am merely giving her a voice. One that has been silenced for so long.
Maybe I do think she deserves it. She's had the world handed to her on a plate, and the likes of me get nothing.
A motive begins to rear its head.
You're just trying to get me to admit to something. Well, I've done nothing.
Allow me to finish. I am sure you will want to hear what follows. Let us return to this morning.
I was only trying to help Lizzie.
You must have known how Madame would have reacted to your late return, especially with her prior treatment of you.
She's angry at whatever I do.
But nonetheless, you were willing to help a colleague, a friend, knowing what the repercussions could be. And that show of loyalty to your friend has been the thing that proved your innocence.
Monsieur?
Because of such willingness to help, you were delayed in town. You had no viable way of taking the bracelet from Mademoiselle Angeline's room. There was simply no opportunity.
I told you! Maybe now Madame will believe me.
It is evidence not even she can ignore. Which then leads us to Mademoiselle Elisabeth. Mademoiselle Elisabeth, you have been with the Van den Bosch family for quite some time now, correct?
That is correct.
You have grown close with both ladies of the house and your fellow members of the house staff, would you say?
Of course. And I certainly hope they feel the same.
You yourself told me Madame Van den Bosch would not stand for it, and you would both be out of a job.
Elizabeth? What is he talking about?
A love that is reminiscent of Romeo and Juliet. One that must remain hidden from the world from fear of expulsion.
If you don't stop, I will tell Maman. You can't speak to her like that.
It may be a tone you do not like, but it is no worse than your maman's ruling that forced them into secrecy to begin with.
I'm sorry. This isn't how I wanted you to find out. We couldn't risk Madame finding out. I don't know what we would do without this house.
What are you talking about, Elizabeth?
Luke and I, we're in love.
Luke? The gardener? But why wouldn't you tell me?
For fear of Madame and her rule, and if neither of you had employment, there would be no way to pay for a wedding, perhaps.
It was never our plan to go behind yours or Madame's back. You must believe me.
You two are to wed?
Yes. Well, no. Not today, as Officer Poirot suspects. Please, it's not what you think.
It is not always what one thinks, or how something may appear, rather where the evidence points. And that is to Mademoiselle Angeline.
You can't believe I would hide my own bracelet. I have nothing to say. How dare you speak to me like that? You have no idea what you are talking about. You can't actually believe I would hide my own jewelry.
If you didn't, explain to me how your memento tin with the bracelet inside came to be lodged inside the chimney of your bedroom fireplace.
You have no proof I put it there.
Besides you being the only one in the room alone, even after finding the bracelet, I still did not know why you had done it. Until I contemplated why Madame was selling so many heirlooms and art.
You had no right to snoop through our house in the first place.
When it is part of my investigation, I have every right, mademoiselle. The unpaid bills and final notice from the telephone company.
Maman can do what she wants with her art. That means nothing.
But when there was no more art to sell, what then? You could not risk her taking your father's bracelet and selling it. So, you staged a burglary pretending it had been taken, preventing her from selling it. Then you stood back as the innocent Florette paid the price.
She didn't think about me at all. She was going to take my bracelet and sell it off. It would have just ended up on some old wrinkly wrist. I didn't think Maman would blame her. I didn't think she would do anything.
But she did. And somehow that evidently didn't cross your mind. When Madame returns, you shall have it all to explain.
Maman can't know what I have done. She will be furious.
But Mademoiselle Florette will be proved innocent. And that is what is important. No crime has been committed, so I see no reason why this should continue any longer. It is time you considered the consequences of your actions. And now, you must face them head on.
Maman, you're home.
Of course I am. And I've brought someone that will bring some order to this chaos.
Major, I can assure you I have the situation under control.
From what I have heard, you are far from it.
The missing bracelet has been found, and the guilty party has been identified.
I'm well aware that the maidservant was behind it all. And yet I see her standing as free and innocent as you and me.
I am sure Madame Van den Bosch has informed you of her suspicions, but I'm afraid it was merely speculation.
Excuse me?
After conducting a full investigation, the evidence and facts led me to deduce...
This is ridiculous. Why would my daughter hide her own jewellery?
I'm sorry, Maman, he's right. Florette is innocent. I just wanted to show you.
Shh, girl. I will not have you guilted into taking the blame for that sticky-fingered girl.
Officer Poirot, a word. Madame Van den Bosch was forced to make her way to inform me, alone, I might add, of the goings-on at the house today.
Major, with all due respect, she was impeding the investigation.
This may be how some officers act in the city, but here we show respect to our citizens. You are an officer of the law and should act as such. Insubordination like this will not be tolerated.
As the ranking officer, I have conducted my investigation and...
Ranking officer? Ha! You are an auxiliary officer. You have little authority over anyone, let alone a major. You would be wise to remember who is close friends with your commanding officer. After what I have heard of your past in the city, I'm sure he would look upon today's events as another failure at the hands of Officer Poirot.
Oui.
Now I suggest you do your duty and escort the maidservant to the station where she can be formally charged and a sufficient punishment handed out.
Right away. I'm sorry, mademoiselle. This is not the outcome I expected.
Maman was right. We'll always pay the price for the upper class's actions.
We will do everything we can to clear your name.
What can you do now? Madame said I'm guilty of a crime and I'll be punished. That's that.
A crime that was never committed. Once the truth is explained, this wrong shall be set right.
Angeline did not intend for you to be arrested. Surely you know her better than that.
I should have known better than to expect anything else. Justice and fairness don't reach the likes of me.
What you saw today was not justice. In the eyes of the law, you are innocent and have been harshly treated and wrongly accused. No one will be going to jail.
But that doesn't help my employment, does it?
That I cannot save. But your freedom, I shall make sure of that.
Detective Poirot, I trust this finds you well. It has been many years since our paths last crossed, and while I'm sure your recollection of the events may differ from mine, I hope that receiving this letter has not rekindled a sense of animosity toward myself or the Van der Bosch name. The impression you made is something that has stayed with me since that day. It compelled me to reconsider the spoilt young lady I would have inevitably become and helped shape me into the woman I wished to be. You made me see the childish and selfish girl in me that did not consider the consequences of her actions or how they may affect others. Although Maman may see the events of that day differently, I believe the compassion you showed for our mate Florette, as well as the drive to uncover the truth and accept no alternative, was a testament to your character and professionalism. Although I wish it were under different circumstances, your assistance is once again required, and I hope you will consider this as my formal request for your service. This forthcoming weekend was due to be one full of joy and happiness at the announcement of my engagement to Gideon Demire, whom I love dearly, bringing together two illustrious families, but it has been shadowed by deceit, extortion, and blackmail. The Van der Bosch name is being held to ransom by a mysterious party, and I am afraid I do not know who I can and cannot trust. We are holding a small gathering to celebrate our exciting news with what Maman calls the dignified elite, those that are well respected and held in high regard in both our close inner circle and society. Our private matters have always remained just that, so I fear one of those invited may be the person who is out to ruin our name, but for reasons I cannot fathom. I have enclosed a first-class rail ticket for you to join us for the announcement, and having contacted your superiors and the correct authorities to request your assistance, which they were more than happy to grant me, I shall expect your arrival with great anticipation. There shall be a carriage waiting for you at the station to bring you directly to Mnemosyne House. I thank you in advance in our time of crisis. Yours respectfully, Angeline Van der Bosch.